Hello friends! Another wonderful November day here. Gonna do something a little bit different today. We've been playing around with the channel and what to put on the channel, and obviously you're here for video games and Pokemon Go, but today we're gonna focus on something different. So I recently got Animal Crossing New Horizons for my Nintendo Switch, and I'm obsessed with it. Like, it happened so fast. I'm obsessed with it. And as I've been playing through the game, I've asked myself a ton of questions, and I've honestly had to Google some things. Now, prior to New Horizons, I had never played an Animal Crossing game, so I'm full-on noob. So what I've decided to do is to start making an Animal Crossing kind of tips, tricks, FAQ video series as I play through this game. So these are going to be all real-time questions that I have as I'm moving through the gameplay, and I'll be putting them all in a series of videos for any Animal Crossing noobs out there who have tons of questions, so you can stop being confused and have the answers you need to progress in your Animal Crossing's New Horizons gameplay. So in a nutshell, I'll be posting a new video every so often as I progress through the game and find a set of questions that I needed answered, and I will answer them for you here on this channel. So if you're new to this channel and Animal Crossing's New Horizons brought you here, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can find all the different chapters of this series, as well as other gaming videos, particularly Pokemon Go, and then other topics like travel and music. So thanks for being here, and if you enjoyed the video, give it a like, leave me any comments down below in the comments section. I'll look forward to answering those. Let's get this video going. Okay, so if you're really new to Animal Crossing's New Horizons, one of the first things you're going to learn is that you have to build most of your items with DIY recipes. For me, one of the first items that I built were fire pits, which I made from collecting tree branches. But the one really simple task that I couldn't figure out was how to light a fire. Well, great news, it's actually really easy. All you have to do is walk up to your fire pit or your campfire and press A. And boom, you've made fire with your own hands. Okay, next up, you've probably seen the shadows floating around in the river. Yeah, they look like fish. They're fish. So you probably asked yourself, how do I catch those little tiny shadows swimming around? So the good news is one of the first DIY recipes that you're going to receive from Tom Nook is going to be a fishing pole. So make sure you collect 5 tree branches from the ground around your island to craft that fishing pole. And then once you have it all set, walk up to any place in the water that you see a shadow of a fish, and you have to kind of align it perfectly to cast your pole with the A button to have the bobber land right in front of the fish. And it has to be pretty close as well. So if you land it in the correct place, you'll notice that the fish kind of alerts to it and will eventually swim towards it. Now here's where it gets a little tricky for new players. You have to watch really carefully and listen really carefully to figure out when the fish grabs your hook. So normally the first couple times the fish is gonna hit the bobber and it's gonna make a little bloop sound. So be patient, and you're gonna wanna wait for the fish to sink the bobber. So if you look really closely, you'll see it drop into the water, and it's also going to make a clunk sound instead of a bloop sound. So as soon as you hear that clunk sound and see that bobber go underwater, press A, and your character will start reeling in the fish and you'll catch it. All right, number 3. Let's continue on this path of DIY crafting. So your first few items are going to come from tree branches, which are easy to find. They're laying all over your island, but the next items you're going to start seeing are going to require wood. So you might be wondering, where the heck is the wood? Great news, you just need to craft another tool, and for this you're going to need an axe. So once you have your axe DIY recipe, you'll be able to craft your axe with 1 stone and 5 tree branches. Then all you have to do is go up to any tree, equip your axe, and hit it, and you can get 3 different pieces of wood out of that tree. You're either going to get softwood, regular wood, or hardwood. And as you progress through the game, different items are going to require different types and amounts of wood. All right, next up, so we learned how to catch fish from the river, but you might be wondering, can I cross the river? So the answer is yes. As a beginner player, you're going to need a pole vault to be able to cross the river. So you'll be able to get this pole vault recipe from Blathers, who is the museum curator that will very quickly show up to your island to start building a museum. So once you have that recipe, and now that you know how to find wood, you'll need to find 5 pieces of soft wood to craft your pole vault. Once you have that pole vault crafted, all you have to do is go up to the river, have it equipped, and press A, and you'll hop right over. Okay, next. So most of your DIY items have probably been flimsy, and you've noticed by now that they break pretty quickly. So you're probably wondering, is my pole vault gonna break and leave me stranded on a part of an island that I can't escape from? Well, great news, short answer, no. Your pole vault is an infinite item and it will not break, leaving you stranded. Now also keep in mind that once you progress farther in the game, you're not gonna have to use the pole vault anymore, and there will be other options available to you for for crossing the river. Okay, another thing you may have noticed while you're wandering around your island is that there's different things that appear on the ground, including little X-shaped holes. You may have seen some little sparkles coming out of the ground. And then down on the beach, you've probably noticed that there's some bubbles that come out of the sand occasionally. So of course, these are all items that are buried underground. And to dig these items up, you guessed it, you're gonna need a shovel. So you can get a shovel by getting the DIY recipe and crafting it with 5 pieces of hardwood. So once you have your shovel crafted and equipped, just go stand next to any of these items on the ground and hit A to dig. So for those little X's, you're typically going to find fossils at the start of the game, and these fossils can be brought to Blathers to assess for your museum. Now if you see a sparkle, there's gonna be money under there. So definitely dig that up and get those bells. And then down on the beach, if you see those little bubbles coming out, you're going to find manila clams. So these can be used for crafting later in the game, but I've basically just been selling all of them. Speaking of selling things for money, you probably have been selling a lot of your clumps of weeds. They're not very lucrative, but they're definitely plentiful. So you're probably wondering, well, I've cleared my island of weeds, I've sold them, but are they ever going to come back? Because I need them for DIY recipes. So that answer is yes, these weeds will grow back, however they do take a few days. So if you clear your entire island, you'll start noticing that the smaller clumps of weeds will start popping back up within a few days, and if you wait even longer, then you'll start seeing those taller weeds pop back up. So you can continue to pick weeds, sell them, store them, whatever you need to do, those weeds will grow back. So speaking of storing and holding on to items, you're probably pretty annoyed with how quick your pockets fill up. Yeah, they fill up really quickly and it can get really annoying. So you're probably wondering, can I expand my pockets? So first, the answer is yes. Eventually you will be able to expand your pockets later in the game, but the thing that'll probably happen first for you is you'll switch from your tent to a house. And once you've built a house, your house comes with storage as well. So you can pretty much save anything you want to store in your house's storage and save your pocket space just for those tools that you need to use regularly and things that you're picking up around the island as you go. Okay, and finally, our last tip. Along the lines of pocket storage, you may have found yourself out hunting around your island for different items that you can collect for recipes and to sell in the store, and your pockets have filled up. Now this is especially important if you're, let's say, catching a species, particularly if you just caught one that's new to you. If your pockets are full, a little pop-up will come up and tell you they are full and that you need to either drop something or swap something. So what happens if you drop something? Is that item eventually going to despawn, which means you won't be able to come back and get it? Do you have to choose which one of your items to get rid of and never see again? Great news, no you do not. Dropped items on your island will not despawn. So if you just netted your first monarch butterfly and you need to drop a clump of weeds on the ground, it's absolutely fine to do so. Alright, so that's gonna do it for the first chapter in our Animal Crossing's New Horizons tips video series. I really hope that if you're a new Animal Crossing New Horizons player, you found this video because you were looking for answers, and hopefully some of this information was super useful to you. If that was the case, hopefully you'll continue in the series as I play through the game and you play through as well. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notifications button if you want to catch these video series as they come out. Otherwise, I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. Stay safe out there, people, and enjoy your home safety video game playing. Now is a greater time than ever to get your hands on new video games and keep yourself occupied while you're stuck at home. Alright, enjoy your day, gang. See ya.